You want to start with the Dallas Stars
Yeah,
since you're at the game?
sure. First thing I'll tell you is I think you could take anybody, sports fan or not, have them watch Connor McDavid play hockey for a couple hours, and I think they would pretty quickly get it. Like, oh, they would know.
I feel like that's what I used to say about Madonna back in the day.
Just jumps off the screen at
Like
you.
somehow, even if no one's ever been to a game before, but you'll be like, "Ooh, that's the best one."
Mm-hmm. It's
Yeah.
just and in person, it's a thing to behold. It just very quickly the ice will look clogged, and then it's not. He's just on his own.
So the analysis seems to be the Stars may have run into a better team. At
Well,
least through the first few games, right? You would say Edmonton has to be feeling great. Like, hey, that first one was the fluke.
yeah, I mean, it was a fluky comeback, but I mean, there are some, if you care, there are these websites that track like your expected goals based on the quality of your chances.
Yeah, high whatever chances. Yeah,
high
Stars have
danger
had a ton of those.
I think they may have won. I know they won yesterday based on that metric while losing 6-1.
Yeah.
But the second period, they were all over them. The Stars were, and they couldn't produce anything. Like they just might have run into a hot goalie. It's always good in the playoffs to go read what people are saying at the other side. And this is a goalie that this fan base cannot stand. Like this is the guy you're going to the playoffs worried about. Not last round when you were going in. The guy's a Vezina winner. Vezina.
Yet he's awesome.
Yeah. I mean,
the
guy standing on his head. They ran into a hot goalie. So I don't know. I mean, not having Rope yesterday certainly didn't help.
What do you think about that controversy?
I don't know. I've seen people explain it both ways, and I guess I don't know. I mean, it didn't look like, to me, it didn't really look like he was trying to hurt him. Like, it looked like he was making a play on his stick with the idea that the puck could be headed there. But you also just whack somebody in the leg.
In the unprotected area, and those guys all know that.
Yeah, and it's bad enough to miss a game.
Like, should he have gotten the game misconduct?
Well, when he didn't, it felt like the game was over. It felt like the game was already over. Same as yesterday when I was going to talk to you about that. Like, I try very hard to remain sports agnostic when it comes to momentum because I agree with you. But hockey playoffs test my limits on that. I don't think the momentum is predictive. And I don't think it means if this happens, then that's going to happen. But I think I have to allow that. It's kind of like what we were talking about Friday with the Cowboys and vibes. That maybe like that there are certain events that if they happen, the ensuing event is more likely to be this or that. So they missed that delay of game penalty. And Edmonton scores 10 seconds later. I think it was the next shift. And that felt like the Stars, and of course you say it felt like they were rattled. They were all pissed off about it, but you only say that because they scored. And after they scored, it felt like, oh, God, and then they score again. And I know that it would be very hard to prove, but I feel like I acknowledge that there is something to like, God, we need to score. This is a prime opportunity. It didn't work out. We're rattled. They score quickly. They score again. There's something to that. I think Bob used to call it like a contagion. There's some feeling.
See,
but I can't.
And my point is just that I acknowledge that I also feel that feeling.
Me, same here.
But
and I don't use it.
There are probably just as many examples where that feeling happened, but then.
Yeah, and I don't know. There have been times where I have actually.
And especially if somebody builds up like a 3-goal lead, then you can always say, because that's usually going to work no matter what, whether those goals were scored within 1 minute or.
They're just better.
1 every 15 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, it's just tough because like I know that I believe in in the NFL they've proven the sudden change. So if you have a sudden change play, you're more likely to have a chunk play on offense in the next 2 plays, like a bad interception or a strip fumble, while everybody's collectively like, fuck.
Yeah, but you have to call that play too. And if you have Jason Garrett, you're more likely to have a run up the middle.
Settle things down. You boys are a little excited.
Yeah. Where I remember that was a big Parcells thing. Take a shot.
Yeah.
Like right then when you get a shift. Because he would say it's a momentum shift, but really it's you taking advantage of we've talked to Brandon Aubrey. Oh my gosh, it was a chain. All of a sudden I'm out there. So all of a sudden those defenders are now out there. Like you're getting your bearings straight. You weren't expecting it. The drive hadn't ended. It was just an interception. Now I'm out here right away. Okay, let's take that shot right now. It's
tactical, not
the momentum feel is there, but then you had to actually do something. And, that's
I don't know.
That I'd bring it up every time, like, it doesn't work.
No.
Which is pretty often, too. So,
yeah, and
I do agree. There is a feel, there is something going on, but I think if you're a pro athlete, you can't almost acknowledge momentum in the moment because you can make a play. You can get something done on your side. You can make a great play.
And they didn't. And then they had a number of great chances and they didn't cash in. And then the game it felt like it was over. It felt like it was over when it was 2-0 Friday night. It felt like it was over when it was 2-0 yesterday.